Hi everyone, welcome back. So we were discussing about a new chapter called as laws of motion. So our great philosophers of ancient world, they always has an interest on the motion of an object. They used to have a doubt, what is the natural state of an object, whether the object is rest or motion. So there comes our scientist. Who is that scientist? Our great philosopher Aristotle. What he said that if you take an object and if an object is pushed with a force, after some time what we can observe that the speed of the object goes on decreases and the object comes to rest. And if the object is already at rest, what we can say that the object will be always at rest. With this he concluded that the natural state of an object will be always at rest, not the motion. That's what our Aristotle said. What is that? The natural state of an object is always at rest. Why? Because if you move an object, after some time we can observe that the speed of the object gradually decreases and comes to rest. So with this Aristotle concluded that the natural state of an object is what? Always at rest. But what happened? Here comes our great scientist. Who is that scientist? Our Galileo Galilei. What he said that the natural state of an object is not rest, it will be always motion. Why he said through an example. What is that experiments? What he said that an object in motion will always in motion unless an external force is applied to it. What is it that if an object so here comes our scientist Galileo Galilei. What is it that if the object is at rest, it always will be in what? Rest. And if the object is in motion, it will be always in motion until an external force is applied to it. Means what? Object will be continuously in the motion condition unless we exert a force in the what? In the opposite direction. So with this, how he had done? He had proved it through an experiment. What is the experiment he had done? So what is that first thing he had done? He had taken one object and he placed the object on an inclined plane. Okay, and what type of inclined plane? The inclined plane which is very smooth in nature. And he kept an object on the top of the inclined plane. So when he released the object, what he had observed that the object started moving down. Yes. Now he said that if the surface is perfectly smooth, what we can observe that the object goes on moving downwards, okay, without stopping. And in this, what he said that if you observe here, when an object is kept on inclined plane with smooth surface, then he concluded that if the surface is perfectly smooth, the ball will travel indefinitely. The ball will travel indefinitely means what? It will not stop. It will be continuously in motion. At the same time, what is the other thing what he had concluded through the first experiment, that if an object is pushed upwards on an inclined plane, what he observed that the speed decreases. At the same time, if an object is placed on the top of an inclined plane, what he has observed that this object started moving down and it increases speed. When it is on the top of the inclined plane, it increases, and if it is on the bottom of the inclined plane, its speed decreases. Means if the object is on the plane surface, what will happen to its motion? It should be uniform motion. Why uniform motion? If it is on the top of the inclined plane, its speed is increasing. If it is on the bottom to top you are moving, the speed is decreasing. If it is on an inclined plane, if it is a plane surface, means what? It will be the object will be in uniform motion. Neither the speed will increase nor the speed will decrease. It will be what? It will be moving in a uniform motion. So here what he said that if the surface is perfectly smooth, object will never stop. It will be in continuous motion. It will move in a uniform motion. Okay, understood. So experiment number 2. So what he had done, so what he said that Galileo's, so here second experiment what he had done, he had taken two edges as an inclined surface and he placed the object think that a marble at one end of the inclined plane. Now when he released it, what he has observed that the ball's inclined object or the ball or the inclined object started moving downwards slowly, and it started rising upwards until it reaches the initial position. Okay, understood? Means what? Where it started, there the object try to stop. Means what? It want to cover the exact equal distance. So now what he had done, he has decreased the angle of elevation. When he decreased the angle of elevation, and when he placed the same object at top of the inclined plane, and when he released it, there what we are seeing, then here also object tries to cover more distance to cover the same same initial position. With this, what he said, that if I made the other side as a plane surface, what will happen to the object? The object starts moving continuously until it attains the initial position. Means what? The object will be in uniform motion. So with this, what he said, that whatever the Galileo said, it became a contrast to the Aristotle belief. What does Aristotle said? That the natural state of an object is at rest. That's what the Aristotle said. But what did Galileo has concluded, that the natural state of an object is not rest, it is uniform motion. Understood, everyone?